speaking of amazing, our next guest had a amazing UFC debut. It didn't go his way in the end, but a lot of people were talking about Lando Vannata come Wednesday night who weren't talking about him prior to that, who maybe didn't even know who he is. But this close to defeating Tony Ferguson, and really, if you're gonna talk about moral victories in MMA, that's pretty much the moral victory in MMA, what he did Wednesday in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Lando joins us on the phone right now. Lando, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, Ariel. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us. So let me get this straight. Is it Lando or Landon? Because on SureDog, they have you as Landon. On the broadcast, it was Lando. What should I call you?
Lando.
Lando. Is it short for Landon?
Yeah, it's a nickname for Landon.
Okay, I like it. It's weird to say congratulations to someone, after a loss, but I kind of feel like I should say congratulations to you. Do you agree with my assessment that moral victories suck? You don't get as much money, you don't get the W, but that kind of felt like one to me.
Yeah, actually, I've gotten a lot of congratulations, and it's definitely a moral victory. I'm still disappointed in myself for the way I acted during parts of that fight, and let myself down during it. But nonetheless, man, it's still a small victory. It takes a lot of pressure off my shoulders. If I would have beat Tony Ferguson, it would have been a lot more pressure.
Oh, that's it. So you see a silver lining in not beating him. Were you not ready for that pressure?
No, not saying I'm not ready. Definitely feel like I will be ready for it. Just now it's not there.
Okay. I want to work backwards here and get to the fight. You get the call to replace Michael Chiesa around 2.5, 3 weeks before the fight, and it's against Tony Ferguson, who you can make the case is the number one contender. He's on this amazing winning streak. Were you surprised that you got that offer? People come into the UFC on short notice all the time, but it's usually not against an opponent like that. What were you thinking when you initially got that offer?
No, yeah, I wasn't surprised. I mean, Horcher got Khabib on the same notice. But what I was thinking, I was just like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go, let's do it. 100% in.
So there was no doubt, you didn't have to think about it, you took the fight?
Nah, my manager called me, he said, hey, you want to fight Ferguson in 2 weeks? I said, yeah, let's go.
And what kind of shape were you in?
Well, actually, I had that was the first day of my training camp for another fight, and, I was kind of in and out of the gym the weeks prior to that, nothing too serious. And, I was in good shape, but I wasn't in fight shape. I wasn't in great shape. I was in decent shape.
Yeah, and your last fight was April 30th, so it wasn't like you were out for a very long time. How much did you know about Tony Ferguson? Like, when you heard that it was him, was there something about his style that made you even more confident going to the fight? Like, yeah, this is a good opportunity.
No, actually, I didn't know much about him. I knew he had chokes, and he had long arms, he had a big reach. And at first I was like, great. These are all the things I hate. Guys with a long reach, guys with a good choke, and pressure fighters. All right. Yeah, so there's three things that I hate, and, but then we sat down and watched tape, and it built my confidence up a lot.
Okay, so then you start, you're taking the fight, you're getting ready for the fight, you're a part of this great gym with obviously some of the best coaches in the sport, some of the best fighters in the sport. Did you feel at that point, even before the call, that you were ready for the UFC? Like, you're around these guys every day, you're training next to them. Are you thinking, like, what is it going to take for me? Because obviously when you're dreaming about going to the UFC, you don't want it to be under these circumstances. You want a full training camp. Usually you want to be as prepared as possible. Did you feel already that, like, all right, my time is coming, like I should be getting this call already?
Yeah, I've been saying to everybody's been asking this year. I've been telling them I'll be in the UFC by the end of the year. It's just a matter of time.
Did you ever flirt with them before? Were there ever any close opportunities to joining them in the past?
Yeah, we were trying to get a few fights in the past. It just kind of fell through. They gave them to different people, and we just knew it was going to be right around the corner. It was going to be soon.
Before you left, any of the fighters in the gym have a pep talk with you, try to give you a few pointers about what it would be like fighting in the UFC?
It's just the normal things. Cowboy sat me down outside and was like, hey, man, don't let the big lights get to you. Don't let that stuff get to you. It's just another fight. But it's just the normal things. They know physically, mentally I'm prepared for it. They're just like, hey, there's me big lights. It's going to be these famous people around you, these famous referees and announcers and all that other stuff. Just don't be distracted by it.
I get the impression you're not someone who gets easily rattled. Just doing some research on you, you like to do a lot of meditation and be calm. I mean, that you don't strike me as a very nervous Nelly kind of person. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm actually extremely calm when it comes to fights. Sometimes I'm so calm that I go, should I be like a little more excited right now? Like I'm very, very calm. Going into a fight backstage, I'll be joking around, having a good time. We're cracking jokes. I walk out, smiling, dancing. I just feel good. I just take everything in.
You've been with Jackson's for several years since you were in high school. Is that true?
Yeah. So the first time I came out here, I was actually 16. I was going to go to a wrestling camp, and decided I'd try to see if I can come out here for a month. Turned out I could, and I was out here for a month in the summer of 2008.
That's when you joined full time.
No, that was my first trip. I was 16 at the time.
Okay, where were you coming from?
Originally, I came from Florida.
Okay.
That's where I was living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why?
I came from Florida.
Why there? Why'd you go there?
Why Jackson?
Yeah.
I was just looking for a wrestling camp. My brother just goes, you should try to go to Jackson. I think it was at a time when GSP just re-won his belt or something, and Jackson was the talk of the town.
Okay.
And I was like, you should try to go there. He's just joking around. I was like, yeah, sure, I might as well try it. And then I ended up going, fell in love with the place, and made a lot of good friends, and just able to come back.
So you go there when you're 16, 2008, but you're still in school. You didn't leave school early to join the team full time?
No, I went to wrestle at Tennessee Chattanooga, D1 school. I was there for a semester and just hated it, and then I dropped out, moved out here right after.
So were you going every summer, though, up until you joined full time?
No, it was just that one summer.
Oh, okay. But you still had aspirations. When did you decide that you want to be an MMA fighter?
I was like 10, 11 years old.
What?
I saw UFC 30, UFC 31. My aunt got me those VHSs, and I come home from school and I'd watch them every day. Especially the Pedro Hizzo, Josh Barnett, the first fight.
Yeah.
I loved that fight. And I come home from school and I watch them every day, and it took me a couple years to find my first gym. So I just told my parents, I was like, this is what I want to do in my life. I'm going to be a world champ one day.
Why did she get you those VHSs?
My aunt was in Vegas and she met Randy Couture or something, or she was at the UFC party. I don't remember exactly. She just had like this gift bag, this UFC gift bag, and she was like, hey, I think you'll like these. Turns out I loved them.
That is incredible. So you just watch them over and over again? How many times do you think you watched them?
I don't know, a few dozen each.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah.
And so your fight was Hizzo. It wasn't like Tito Ortiz slamming Evan Tanner. It was the Hizzo Barnett fight.
Yeah, it's still to this day one of my favorite knockouts. He rocks them, and Barnett just folds over forward a little bit, and he's just so dazed. Hizzo steps off to his right, fires that right hand clean on the temple, and just puts him down. It's just one of my favorite knockouts. And
in 31, Couture beats Hizzo. Did you you didn't know who any of these guys were? So were you kind of bummed that in the next VHS that the guy loses?
No, I wasn't attached to the fighter himself.
Okay.
I was just attached to that fight. Fight.
Have you ever met him?
No, I haven't met Hizzo. I was supposed to fight one of his fighters. I have met what is Hizzo's coach's name? I always forget. The man who lives in California.
Rafael Cordero?
No, King of the Street. What's his name? He's on the UFC way back in the day as well. Big heavyweight guy.
For Hizzo or Barnett?
Hizzo's coach.
They'll come to me. I know who you're talking about.
I can't think of it off the top of my head. But no, I've never met Hizzo.
Okay, so at that point, are you a big wrestling fan, like pro wrestling or boxing fan? Were you a combat sports fan at all?
No, I mean, I watched some WWE when I was a kid, but I wasn't a big fan of any combat sports at that time. Okay,
so then so now we speed up. You're finally joining the team full time, and you decide that you want to become an MMA fighter, and you're around all these great fighters and all that. Was there ever a point where you were thinking this isn't? Because I mean, it's been 4 years since you've been doing this full time. Did you always believe that you would make it to the UFC?
Oh yeah, 100%. I've always been having great rounds with everybody in the gym, and I knew my skill set was there, my mindset was there. And it was just one of those things where you have to take it a day at a time, one step after the next. And, and I know it's a long, arduous process, and some people never get that shot. I just happen to be lucky enough to get that chance. But I always knew it would come.
What was it like when you got to Sioux Falls? And of course, we're not in Vegas. We're not, it's not the bright lights, and of course, it was after 200, so there was less attention. But just being a part of that process, because I know there's a lot that goes in, and it's very professional behind the scenes. What was the experience like for you going through it the first time?
Oh, it was fun. You know, it was the first time for me to do it personally, but I've been there with Cup Swanson. I've been there with Diego Sanchez. I've been through the process before as a friend, as someone who was there to help another. So it's not necessarily the first time, but it was fun. It was definitely fun to go through the whole thing for myself.
And the nerves never got you, right? Speaking of what Cowboy said to you, you go into the cage. It's all just another fight.
Yeah, that's exactly how I viewed it. That's what I say when I first got it. I said, it's just another fight.
Yeah.
That's how I felt all the way through.
But then in the first round, when you're looking as comfortable as you are, when you're rocking him, when all this is happening, when people are like, you know, obviously you can't see what people are saying, but like this is actually unfolding. You're about to pull off this mammoth upset. What is going through your mind? Are you still remaining calm, or are you kind of like, holy shit, I mean, I'm about to do this?
No, you know, I like to think that I pretty much fight blank. I'm on autopilot. There's no thoughts really. The only thought that came to me during that fight, and I remembered it just the other day, and it was very weird. We were circling around each other, moving. And I look at him, and I think to myself, either I'm having Deja Vu right now, or I've dreamed about this before.
Wow.
And I'm not sure which. Yeah, and then it just went right back to getting punched in the face. But that's the only thought I had the entire fight.
Wow. That is and so when you go to your corner, the second between the first and second round, what is your corner saying to you?
I had no idea.
You don't recall?
I was so exhausted after the first round. I was in there just trying to catch my breath. They were saying things, but I don't remember.
Have you watched the fight since?
Yeah, about 12.5 times.
What's that like for you to see how close you were to finishing him?
It's very sad. Because every time I watch, I go, why did I do that? Why did I follow him to the ground? If I would have just given an extra inch of space when I let that uppercut go when he was back against the cage, it would have been a good night. But so it's just small mistakes. It's kind of sad to watch, but at the same time, I sit down analytically and watch it and see the things I did wrong, and I know what to work on in the future. The next one.
Is that why you said earlier that you kind of let yourself down?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Like I just there's it's just some mistakes that I shouldn't have made that I did, and that I have made in the past. In the past, I've been more controlled about it, and this time I just happened to make a mistake that I shouldn't have made.
What about protecting yourself? Do you feel like you? I mean, it's a great style. It's very exciting, and he nailed you with that Superman punch, and you took it. And it was unbelievable to watch. But is that something that you usually do? I know fighters do that. I mean, it's a common thing in this sport. Fighters, some of them don't like to protect themselves, have their hands down the whole time. Is that what you usually do in all your fights?
I usually protect myself through footwork and head movement, like I was doing in the first round. Yeah. In that second round, so before the fight, there was a time when I was talking to my coaches, and I was saying, I think after I hit him a couple times, I'll get Tony to go backwards. Nobody makes this guy go backwards. I'm confident that I'll be able to control the pace. And in that second round, I was making him go backwards the whole time. So that kind of it stroked my ego a little bit, and I got a little too excited. And then he was hitting me, and I didn't feel like he hit that hard. There's a point where he ripped a body kick, and I blocked it, and I said, all right, come on, throw another. And he ripped another one, and I put my hands down. I was like, what, that's all you got? So it was just a little bit of an ego thing, man. Just I got a little carried away with it.
Man, it was something else to watch. This relatively unknown fighter on this big stage coming in and almost knocking off the top guy. Do you recall what, like, when you got back to the locker room, what that was like? What your coaches said to you? I'm sure you were dealing with a lot of mixed emotions.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely mixed emotions. At one point, I was high on it, and I felt great about it. And then, the next minute, I was, on the verge of tears. And then the next moment, I just wanted to hear my coaches give me an analysis of it and things to work on. Yeah. But, it was just all over the place, man. It was my first loss in the MMA, my first loss in anything in a very long time. So, yeah, it was just a mixed emotions, just all over the place.
A foreign feeling, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got the 50,000 though.
That's
makes
nice.
Yeah, and I saw that you said afterwards that you're going to get a car. I was told that you ride your longboard to the gym. Are those days over?
Yeah. Oh no, I got a car, but I'm still going to be longboarding to the gym. I love skating.
Wait, so
skating, riding the bike, walking.
You got the car already?
Yeah, I'm sitting in it right now.
Wow, what'd you get?
I got an 05 Nissan Frontier Nismo Edition. 4-wheel drive. got a little lift on it. Nice little off-road package.
Wait, so you got home Thursday, I assume?
Yeah, I got home Thursday, and so funny thing is, I've been sharing a car with my girlfriend for the past couple of years. We've been supporting each other and really helping each other out. That car had 170,000 miles on it. So we're driving the other day to go get some errands done. The car breaks down and dies on us. Yeah, the day after we get back. So the car breaks down. We shoot over to the Hyundai dealership and walk in. She was going to buy a new car anyway, so she walks in, buys a new car. We come back the next day to finish up the paperwork, and there's this nice Nissan Frontier sitting in the front. And I take it out for a test drive. I go, yeah, I like it. Check it out. Everything's clean. So I go, okay, let's buy it. Yeah.
So now you got two cars.
Yeah, so now I have my own car.
Wow.
Yeah, she has her car. I got my car. It's great.
It's good to be Lando Vannata.
Yeah, life just changed a little bit. It's pretty nice.
I saw a video where you go on your roof and meditate. Do you still do that?
That's when I was living in the mountains. I was living on the other side of the mountains from Albuquerque here. I just moved, actually, just a few months ago.
Okay.
But up until I moved, I was up there, every morning, my coffee, doing a little meditation.
It's great. Well, what about this purple suit that you were rocking afterwards, which a lot of people noted as well? Was that did you pick out that suit because you knew that you were going to win and you were going to sit up there and everyone was going to be talking about you? Was that what you were thinking?
I said, yeah. I was like, I got to go get a suit for the Postfight press conference after I beat Ferguson. I didn't have the money to go get a tailored suit, so I just went and grabbed that to spend a few hours doing a little shopping.
Yeah, people liked it. It looked good on you, the purple.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so now obviously you got a little banged up. Any serious injuries in the fight?
Nah, no serious injuries. Just some scrapes, some bruises, but we're all good to go.
When do you want to return?
I'm gonna take probably 3 or 4 weeks off. Just let my body heal up from the past few years.
Yeah.
Been grinding. Probably late October, early November. Give myself a few weeks off and then be able to get a few full camp going.
What was it like when you got back to the gym? Because you've been one of those guys, like you said, grinding, and I know a lot of people are rooting for you. It was cool to see some of your teammates on Twitter after and even before the fight. But when you got back, what was that reception like? Oh,
man, just everybody I've seen so far has just given me nothing but love. Like we were saying earlier, I've just gotten congratulations from everybody. I think I'm the only person to ever get congratulations from losing a fight.
It's a weird thing, right? What do you say to that?
Yeah.
Say thanks, I guess.
Yeah, I say thanks, because even though I lost, it's like you said before, it's more victory. There's lots to be gained from it. There's, I gained thousands of fans from it, so it's really got my name out there. Really put me on the map, so there's still silver linings in it.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to see you take that approach. By the way, Marco Huas was the fighter that you were referring to, yes.
Yes, been to his gym a couple times in California with the Cubs.
Thank you to everyone for calling me an idiot for missing that. Look, I've been talking for the last 3+ hours here. My mind works very slowly, but I shouldn't be complaining to you. Congratulations. I'll add to the congratulations. I was blown away, man. It was so entertaining. That first round to me, when we're doing our awards in December, I have a very good feeling that we'll be talking about that first round for round of the year, and what a performance, what a debut it was, even in defeat. So you have a lot to be proud of. Congrats on the new car. Congrats to your girlfriend as well. And I'm looking forward to watching your career now in the UFC. Great stuff.
There you go. Thank you very much, brother.
My pleasure. There he is, Lando Vannata, who was so successful in defeat in his UFC debut, which is a very rare thing for people to be congratulating someone in defeat. I don't have to tell you that. But that first round, if you missed that card, if you said that there was, if there was too much MMA and to a degree, I don't blame you. But if you said that I was not going to watch the Wednesday card in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, because you were a little bit tired of MMA, you missed a good one. You really did. That first round was there's nothing better than potentially watching an upset unfold, one that no one saw coming. Tony Ferguson had looked so good up until that point, and let's not take anything away from him. He weathered a pretty strong storm and came out in the second round and was able to get back on track and submit Vannata. But wow, what a first round. To see that unfolding, to see Tony Ferguson on roller skates, to see him almost get finished, guy that no one really knew of 3 weeks ago, is exhilarating stuff. That's the beauty of MMA. We were talking about some of the things that make me a little bit depressed when it comes to MMA. That is the beauty of MMA. Guy coming out of nowhere, taking a fight like that, almost changing his life, and did change his life to a degree in defeat. Great stuff there. And I know his coach, Brandon Gibson, as we were talking about him earlier, I know he's very high on him. One of those guys that's been a part of the team for a while, that they've helped cultivate, grow from the beginning, now getting an opportunity to shine on the big stage.